Hi y'all, this is Regina. Welcome back to Regina's Crafting and More. I'm going to be testing this patch. See if I can get a little bit closer. I'm filming my screen on my embroidery machine. All right. So hang on just a second. I have hooped tearaway stabilizer. It's the Pellin 806 tearaway, I believe that's what it's called. And it's not a lightweight, it's a substantial tearaway, and that's what we're going to be stitching on. Hold on just a second. All right, whoops, sorry about that. I'll have to trim that out. Oh my goodness. All right, so color stop number 1 is a placement stitch. You're probably not going to be able to see this because I have in a dark cream color, and it you're going to be stitching. Oh, hang on. Oh dear me, it got caught in a loop. Let me get that off of there before it messes everything up. And it's still lingering. There it is. All right, so this is one I did a little while ago. I didn't like the process that I used on this one, so I changed it up a little bit, and I didn't like the color that I used on this text right here. Everything else turned out really nice, so I'm redoing it. All right, so there's my placement stitch. I am going to use felt because I don't have anything else. I don't have twill or canvas or anything like that, so I'm just going to use some felt. That's why I've got this. And I'm just going to make sure that it's centered top and bottom and side to side. Scoot it over a little bit. Let me check that top to bottom again. Oh dear, I moved it too much down. Let's see, that's good. And that's good. All right, now if you want, you can tape this down. Color stop number 2 is going to tack it. Just kind of after you put it back on, just make sure that you're still good to go. You're going to be trimming this back. Okay, so I'm just checking, double checking. All right, so I'm just going to hold it there and do color stop number 2, which is the tack down. So on mine, anything that is like an applique, color stop 1 is the placement, color stop 1 is a pink, color stop 2 is blue, and that's your tack down. All right. So if you want, you can go ahead and trim this, and I think I am going to. And one of these scissors did not trim well, and I don't remember which one it was, and I should have put it up. Okay, this does. So I'm going to trim, and for me, it helps a lot if I hold the fabric or whatever I'm using for an applique, if I hold it forward, and it helps get really close to that stitch line. And as long as you kind of hold it up like this, okay, and every little bit, hold it up. It works great on fabric applique, so stands to reason it would work great on this felt. All right, so I was able to get really close. Let me show you. See how close I got? All right. So now, color stop number 3 is going to stitch a light fill, about less than half of what a normal fill design would have. It's going to stitch it on top of the felt just to give a nice background. Now you could use any color felt that you have, but keep in mind that whatever color thread you decide to stitch this light fill, it may or may not show the color that's down here. Now this one, I use the same color felt and the same thread that I'm getting ready to use right now. Okay, so there's just a very, very light hint of this tan felt back behind this kind of a cream color. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch this. It's going to lay down some underlay stitches and then do the other stitches on top of that. And like I said, it's not a heavy stitch. Get it a little closer for you. There you go. So as soon as this is finished, I'll be right back for the next step. Alright, so it's finished with the underlay, and now it's going to do that top stitching on top of the felt. And it's just a very light stitching that it does. You don't have to do this step if you want to stitch directly on top of your felt or whatever you're going to use as the base of your patch. You don't have to do this stitching. It just kind of helps enhance the text that's on here. So I will be back as soon as this has finished stitching. Alright, we're just about finished with this stitching on top. There we go. Color stop number 4 is going to stitch the word retired. I have it in red, and that's what I'm going to use, so let me change my thread color. Alright, so it's going to do retired, and it starts here and works this way, then comes back and works this way. So you see how it's going. It's going this way with the letters, and then it'll come over here and finish this side of the letters. And I'll be back when retired is finished stitching. Alright, so retired finished stitching. Looks good. Color stop number 5 is going to do the purple the legend has. And it goes around the top. Where'd my little patch go? It's going to stitch this. Okay, so once again, it'll start in the center of the text, and it'll go this way, and then it'll go this way. I'll be back when this text is finished. Alright, it's finished. The legend has. And now I'm going to change colors to a blue. This blue. And stitch officially. Alright. So this is what we're stitching right here. one, but this is the one that I don't remember if I told you this in the beginning, but when I stitched this, my hoop, I took it over to my cutting table to do something and work on the back, and my hoop, the inside popped out. I thought I had it put back in there good, but it was off. And so that, while that was off and I went and had dinner and came back, I was thinking, I need to do this, this, and this. So I came home, made some changes, and now I'm testing my changes. Okay, now this is just about done. I'm going to change my thread color and I'll be back. Alright, so now we're going to stitch If You Want to Talk. And I've got that like in a navy blue. I'm going to trim that off so it doesn't get caught up and give me a loop on the front. So I've got a little piece of thread right there that I need to trim off. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to get antsy. Now, what happened to my Y? Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Alright, so color stop number 8 is going to stitch You Will Be Charged. So far, so good. And I'm using a maroon on this time instead of this. If I'd have used a burnt orange on here, it would have looked nice. But I want it to stand out. You will be charged. And I'll be back as soon as this is done. Alright, so You Will Be Charged, finished stitching. There's that. Now I'm going to put in my darker green because I do want that consultation fee in green. And I'll be right back. Alright, I have my green thread in. And it's going to stitch a consultation fee. So it's going this way first. Now it's going to go back. Okay, I'm going to have to go reorder this. Reorder 1, 2, 3 how the letters stitch. I don't know how many times I've looked at this and never realized that these letters weren't stitching out the way I want them to stitch out. I'll be back. Alright, so I've already reordered the way a consulting fee stitches. So it's stitching, starting with the U, goes this way, and then comes back and does the LTING fee. Alright, so now you need to get your backing fabric ready. I took some cotton and put some Wonder Under on the back, just to have something on the back. Now, if you were going to affix it to a garment or something straight away, and you didn't care that there was threads on the back, you could put your steam seam or hot fix or whatever adhesive backing you wanted to put on it and not worry about a backing. But if you were going to do like a little magnet thing, you might want the back of it to look nice. So I have it ready. Alright, so I'm going to put my other red back in the red that I used for the word retired. And I'm going to use that red to do the satin stitching. Now, this is where I'm trying to decide, do I want to put my backing on before the satin stitching and trim it out? Hang on. All right, so I made another quick change. I'm going to put my backing on before I do anything else. So I'm going to turn this over and carefully, let's see, I'm going to burn those threads off. Hang on just a second. All right, so it's doing the satin stitching. It stitched where I needed it, all the way around the edge. It laid down a underlay, and now it's doing the satin stitching. I'm not a big fan of satin stitching, as you know, but on something like this, you need it. I might try it one of these days with just a fill stitch around there like this. The real test is going to be when it does the top stitching, as to whether or not it holds its position. And you do not have to do the top stitching on this if you don't want to. This one was off kilter because of the fact, I'm assuming, because of the fact that everything came out of the hoop. And I just kind of winged it, hoping that I was so careful, it was still stuck to the hoop. The front, the stabilizer was still stuck to the hoop, and I was really hoping that it held its position, but nah, it didn't. So, keep fingers crossed on this one. So I have my navy blue thread standing by for the top stitching on this. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to take the top stitching off. There won't be 12 color stops. There'll be 11. Getting ready for the top stitching. Hang on just a quick second. Let me get this threaded down here at the bottom. And I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. I did put pull compensation on it, but that doesn't always mean that it's going to be right where I wanted it to be down the center. with some pull, so this isn't exactly where it should be. It's more along the edge than in the center. That's what it looks like until I pull it out. Let me look at it. Well, it's even around there, so there it is. That is the retired patch. And now all I gotta do is poke it through and carefully tear it out. And there we go. The legend has officially retired. If you want to talk, you will be charged a consulting fee. All right, this will be available on my Etsy, in my Etsy shop under patches. Thanks for watching. Enjoy.